Great. So, human creativity versus artificial creativity. Is there such a thing as artificial creativity at all? Let's explore. I am Dr. Gil Dekel. I edit the Journal of Creativity and Inspiration, which you can access through this link. I'm also Associate Lecturer at the Open University, teaching on the Design Thinking module. So, the desire to create intelligent machines is not a new thing. The desire to create intelligent machine is an old phenomenon. Throughout history, we have seen examples where people tried to imagine and sometimes also created objects that try to mimic human behavior and sometimes try to transcend human intelligence or human limitations. For example, we find in Greek mythology the librarian automaton. The librarian automaton comes from Greek mythology. The librarian automaton is a celestial being that lives in this massive database surrounded by network of gears and cogs with web connections, which allow it to retrieve information with precision. Another example is the 16th century story of the golem. This comes from the Jewish folklore. The golem was a giant who was lifeless. It had no life. It was made out of clay from the earth. Very typical to Jewish folklore, as you know, the biblical story of the man was created from the earth. So here we have a giant which is inanimate. It is lifeless and it is created from clay. Only when you would to write the name of God, the sacred name of God, and put it under the tongue of the golem, he will then come to life. And the purpose of this machine, this robot, was to protect its community, to protect the local community. The golem, of course, is the story that inspired Mary Shelley's story of Frankenstein. The famous Frankenstein was inspired by the golem. And indeed, going to Europe in 18th and 19th century, we find examples like the flute-playing automaton. The flute-playing automaton created in France. This is now not just an idea or a story, this was an actual mechanical machine. Another example, again from Europe, 18th, 19th century, are automatons that try to mimic animals' behaviors. And so we progress with technology until we reach artificial intelligence, which is in present day. Now, artificial intelligence is way far more advanced, way far advanced than anything that we have created before. Artificial intelligence is far more advanced to a point that we ask, is it really human-like? Is artificial intelligence human-like? Can it be said to be human-like? In other words, can AI learn things? Can AI actually understand? Can it be trained to do things? Now, they are telling us that AI can be trained. In fact, they say AI was trained. They say AI was trained on millions of images, on billions of database that the engineer fed into the system. They're using the word trained. So can it actually be trained? Can it understand? Can it learn things? Now, I would say that AI was programmed. It can be programmed. And by the way, it was programmed to do something and to not do other thing extremely well. For example, AI was programmed to not have any bias. Try ChatGPT, you will see it has no bias. It will never offend any religion, any people of faith, any group. It will never put offense. And it will not even plagiarize. If you ask it, draw me a picture in the style of Picasso, it will not do so. It will not plagiarize. So it was programmed to do all of those things extremely well. But can it actually learn, understand? Can it be creative? Now, I was chatting with many colleagues, one of which said to me this. He said, look, Gil, when a human being like you and me, when we look at an image of a cat, we associate the shape with the word cat in English, cat, C-A-T, and this is how we learn. So my colleague tells me. And then my colleague says, And in the exact same way, artificial intelligence learns, my colleague argued. Now, it is true that you can feed images into AI, and in different video I explain all about this. It is true that AI can so-called recognize the shape of an image. If you give AI this image, it will tell you it is a cat. So it can associate the shape with the word, shape of a cat with the word of a cat. That is correct. My colleague argued that this is an evidence of learning and understanding. I disagree. And in my support, I bring this great man, Maimonides, who lived 800 years ago. In Hebrew, his name is very long, Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon, Rambam, the Maimonides, who said 800 years ago that the ability to notice a shape does not constitute learning and understanding. In other words, you do not understand by seeing the external shapes of things. That is not the property of understanding. He goes ahead and argue about the soul, what he calls the soul, and he says you actually understand within your soul, in your soul. Now, elsewhere you can find my reports about him as well, elsewhere on my website. But here we want to talk about, can AI actually understand? Can AI actually learn? So I would think that we have a problem when we are raising the question. There's already a problem there. We have a problem when we ask, can AI learn? Can AI understand? And the problem is this. The problem is that AI was programmed to talk, to behave, so to speak, as a human being would. AI, ChatGPT, was programmed to respond to you as a human being would respond. So if you type something to ChatGPT, it will come up with the text saying, yes, I understand. Try it. Ask ChatGPT, do you understand something? It will tell you, yes, I understand. It will go, yes, I can do this. Yes, I will write this for you. How can I help you? It types all of these things. I. So many I within the ChatGPT and AI that people think it actually has an intelligent personality. But I would argue, no, there is no I in AI. There is no I in AI. It's all fraud. There's no I. There's no personality in AI. There's no creativity. And why? Because AI systems do not have an opinion. AI was not programmed to have an opinion. It does not have an opinion. It has nothing to say. It has no view, no desire to do anything. By the way, this is why AI would not take over the world. It has no interest taking over the world. It has no understanding of what is taking over the world. It has no intent, no agenda. It doesn't even care about anything because it has no emotions, no dreams, and dare I say, it has no soul. AI has no soul, no life experience, no soul at all. Now, I use AI a lot. In fact, all the images that you see here, I created with AI. I recommend using AI, ChatGPT, and so forth. In a different video, I explain how do I use it. If you want, you can contact me and I will share with you the links. So I recommend using AI. And I myself use AI every day. And at one point, not long ago, I forgot about everything I just explained to you. I forgot all about it. And I thought at one point that AI can actually learn something. What happened is I was trying to teach AI something. I was trying to teach it something. What happened is this. I asked AI a question, ChatGPT a question, and it typed the wrong answer. I knew the answer was wrong. It was easy. So I typed the same question again, asked the same question, and once again, I get the input with the wrong answer. ChatGPT provided the same wrong answer again. So what do you do when a child comes with the wrong answer? You said, okay, I want to teach him. How do you teach a little child? You tell the child, please go back and review my questions. So ChatGPT did that. It reviewed the previous question and it gives me a summary of the question. So it gave me the correct summary of my questions. Then I said to the child, in this case to ChatGPT, now review your answer that you've given me, right? You want it to learn. And therefore ChatGPT indeed went back to the previous answer and it gave me a correct summary of the answers. So we had the correct question and a correct review of the error answer. And then I said to the child, in this case ChatGPT, now compare your answer to the question, what did you learn? And ChatGPT comes back to me and it says, oh, sorry, I have given you the wrong answer. I said, hooray, hallelujah, we've learned. ChatGPT actually learned what was the error it conducted before. It actually learned, it understood, and therefore it will not create that same error again. It will not create the same error again. You don't want to have the same error. It will not, it actually learned. It compared the question, the answer, and it told me, I've given you the wrong answer. Hallelujah. It learned. And then guess what? It says, and here is the correct answer. And it types once again the wrong answer. The third time after we have ascertained that the previous wrong answer was error, we have ascertained it was error. ChatGPT once again and said, and here is the correct answer. And it types again the exact same wrong error answer. And I said, what's going on here? We've just ascertained the question, the answer. We agreed the answer was wrong. And then it gives me back the same wrong answer. And then it dawned at me, it was not a mistake by ChatGPT. It was my error. It was my mistake. It was my mistake to think that I can teach it, to think that I can train it, to think that it has some kind of intelligence, that it can understand, that it can learn. It was my mistake, my error. Obviously, ChatGPT cannot learn. It does not understand. In fact, it does not even use words. ChatGPT does not use words. It uses numbers. So what the engineer did, they coded languages into numbers, and ChatGPT operates based on those numbers. When it gives you the answer to your question, it actually gives you a statistical output, which then the system translates into words. It's just simple. ChatGPT does not even know it gives you an answer or that there is language, that there is such thing as an answer. And so remember that human-like behavior is not human-like intelligence. Remember this quote very clearly from Will Douglas Heaven. Brilliant quote. Behaving like a human being, in this case, saying, coming up with text that say, yes, I understand, yes, I can do. Behaving like human does not mean that there is intelligence behind it. The behavior, the external, does not mean that the internal is like human. It's not like human at all. In other words, syntax is not semantics. And this is a quote that comes from the great John Searle in a YouTube video. It's now on YouTube, a video lecture he gave in 1984, 40 years ago. He was talking about artificial intelligence. Check up this video. Here is the link on YouTube. 40 years ago, John Searle says, syntax are the rules to manipulate symbols. So these are the rules we gave AI to tell it how to manipulate symbol, in this case, symbol of numbers, using the logic of statistics, how to put things together, which then are translated to words. These are syntax, these are rules. This is a great tool, it's very helpful. But syntax, the rules, are not semantics. Semantics are the meanings. So what are the meanings of the words that come out from ChatGPT output? This is something that ChatGPT has no idea, no clue, doesn't understand because it cannot understand. So I've developed this infographic, human creativity versus artificial creativity, together with colleagues Mark Ronco, which you can download from the Journal of Creativity and Inspiration. It is under issue number 3. You can also contact me via this journal. And so this PDF, which you can download and use in your class if you need, give you a little interesting summary of comparison. Motivation. Humans' motivation is driven by an interest. We're actually interested with something. That's what motivates us. With AI operates based on data, on instruction and data. That's not motivation. Intentionality. We, human beings, we make deliberate and mindful choices. AI has no intentionality. It is just following algorithms. Authenticity, I'm sure you will agree with me. When a person operates, it reflects unique perspective and emotions. That's human being authenticity. With AI, its simple output are derivatives. They're based on processed information. Originality, this one is interesting. Yes, human being can be original. Originality can emerge. With AI, here on blue at the bottom, we do believe that AI can produce original output. We do believe that AI can produce original output, something that nobody has ever seen. However, it is still like true novelty. It is not new. It is still based on statistics and previous data in that respect. We simply have not seen it before. Therefore, it can be considered original. But it is not novel and it is not new. Self-expression, yes, human would reflect personal insight and feeling, whereas AI has no self-expression at all. It lacks any personal touch. So colleagues, AI is a great tool, but is it creative? No, because it has no agenda, no intentionality, and it has no soul. It is still useful for creative people, and I would recommend everyone to learn and to use it. I'm Dr. Gil Dekel. You can contact me on the Journal of Creativity and Inspiration on this link. Thank you very much.